In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
And you already know that it's perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, fans of the C3 Podcast, what's up? I'm back again. This is your man, Cody Lashley, here with another edition of the Friday Free-For-All, the show that is for you to come and give your opinion, man. Come talk Carolina Panthers. Come talk this matchup. Everything going on in the world of football right now. Tony referred to this as the cult of free-for-all. And I like that, man. We've got a little cult going around right here, man. I want you to join the cult. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done so already, hit the notification bell for every single time that we go live. Once again, if you want to join this show, you can do that. The link is in the description of the YouTube video, and it's in the description of the Facebook video and the YouTube chat room as well. So you have no reason to not join if you want to. Once again, I am joined by some Friday free-for-all favorites. First, I think today we got to start with a different person because this man has a birthday today, bro. And it's Mike, the Supreme Leader, brother. Happy birthday, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man. Happy to have you, man. You're excited about this game against the Patriots we got coming up?
Yeah, man. Can't be more excited because your boy is gonna be there.
Oh, snap.
No,
shit. Dude. I know another guy who is going to be at that very same game, and it's Nick Montiero. I don't know if Nick, can you are you able to talk yet? Oh, you're muted. Oh, is it? So the reason I brought that up, Nick is actually in Charlotte as well. He's going to be going to the football game too. There's a lot of people that are going to be at this football game, and Nick is currently en route, so he'll be in and out throughout the game or throughout the show today. But I think he might be joining us now. Nick, you with us?
Yes, I am, sir. Yes, I am. Sorry about that.
Nah, you're fine, brother. How you been, dude?
Dude, I've been good, man. I am actually down here right now at Noda Brewery, hanging out, having a good time. Josh is back over there. He's with a couple of our friends. Man, let me tell you something. It feels good to be home down here in Charlotte, man, because this is my home away from home. It has been since 2018, and it will be for the rest of my life because I love it down here in Panthers Nation.
Yep. Hell yeah, brother. Dude, it's going to be a fucking awesome weekend. Happy that you could be joining for another Friday free-for-all. So let's move on to the next Friday free-for-all favorite, man. At this point, people love the opinions of Kenneth Panther Pickle. What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Hey, I'm good, folks. I'm real good. Went on Twitter a little bit a while ago and about got myself all riled up already.
You and me both, brother. I've been a punching bag all day long, man. If you follow me on Twitter, yep, you might catch me going off on a few folks, man. But
that's all right. Some people need it.
It's almost like Twitter has a way of doing that to people. But
yes, it does.
Yeah, man. Listen, we're gonna have a great show today. I appreciate you for joining us. Justin, all the way from Hawaii. Justin, what's going on, brother? You with us?
Yeah, man. Ain't much popping off over here. I'm happy to be here on the show with you guys.
Dude, happy to have you, man. Happy to have all of you. So listen, as always, this is the Friday free-for-all. It's your show. I want, whatever you guys want to talk about, ultimately, that's what I want to talk about too. I have a couple base topics for us to kind of talk about tonight, and we'll just kind of float around here. I alluded to some in the thumbnail for tonight's show. Odell Beckham Jr. got released by the Browns. Tony and I did a debate my take video about whether or not Odell Beckham Jr. is a toxic football player. And a lot of Panther fans are, they wouldn't mind seeing Odell in a Panther uniform. We have that to talk about. And we also have to talk about Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey being hopeful to play this Sunday against the New England Patriots. That's what's being reported. I read that from Joe Person of The Athletic. There's a lot to talk about tonight, man. Once again, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. And if you'd like to join, the link is in the description down below. Okay, so let's just start with this. Birthday boys go first. That's the rule I just made up, and I'm running this show, so that's what it is. Mike, I'm going to point it to you first, and let's start with this. What do you think our chances are this Sunday if Sam Darnold isn't able to go? Is our hopes for a W contingent upon Sam Darnold being able to play, or do you have faith that potentially PJ Walker could get it done with this rushing attack behind this offensive line?
Well, obviously our chances are greatly slimmed with if Darnold's not playing. It's weird to say, but it's the truth. And I feel if PJ's getting the reps, which I'm sure he is, I'm confident he can do a little something, because we saw what he did in that Detroit game last year. Granted, it was a sorry-ass Detroit team, but he's just got to go out there and do his job. That's his job. He's a professional football player. So I'm not big confident going in there if Darnold doesn't play, but I'm behind that man's back that he just needs to do what he's supposed to do, not make any mistakes. That's it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the narrative with both of these guys, right? Don't make mistakes. We have two different versions of Sam Darnold. One that's sporadic, he'll throw interceptions. Then we have another, quarterback in PJ Walker who kind of does the same thing in the red zone. So Tony Dunn is joining us. Tony, if you can hear me, your webcam is kind of messed up. Try coming back out, backing out and coming back in if you can hear me. But that's another thing. I forgot to, I didn't forget, but there's a big bit of C3 news that I have to drop on everybody today. I'm gonna wait until Tony comes in before I drop it. But tune in. Don't go anywhere.
Do I need to get my tissue paper? Please.
You might have to do. I think you're gonna freak out when you hear this bit of news. We have a fun bit of news that I think everyone
are getting married.
Dude, come on, dude, you spoiled it. No, dude, no. We're not getting married. Me and Tony keep it casual. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's something that everybody's gonna like, man. We have some big news to drop on y'all. Let me see if Tony looks any better here, or if he's looking all crazy. Tony, you there? No, Tony's camera is messed up. Tony, if you can hear me, your reception is terrible, brother.
He's stuck in the Matrix.
Yeah, he's like stuck in the Matrix. But so let me bounce back to this question real quick. We'll go to Kenneth. Kenneth, what are our chances looking like outside of Sam Darnold? I mean, do you think Sam, one, is going to be able to play, and two, is it Sam or bust? Is there any hope that PJ Walker would be able to fill in adequately enough to quarterback this team to a win?
I don't think so myself. I haven't seen anything other than against a bad Detroit team that fills me with confidence. He did play some at the end of the season last year, so and he overall he's thrown by far more interceptions than he's ever thrown completions almost. He's just not, but he is our backup, so I'm not never in favor of once your starter goes down, rush out, sign, and go get another backup because you don't like your backup now. So he is listed as a backup. So if Sam can't go, he's got to go. But it's the cards right there. If he makes a success out of it, then a lot of people's going to say, well, okay, then we're good. At the very least, he can be a good backup. If he fails, people are going to turn that page and say, okay, we need to find us a backup and a starter. That's just the way it's going to work out. I think we've got a pretty decent team overall. I haven't really seen the injury report, but if McCaffrey can go, I would actually play McCaffrey at a lot at wide receiver. We seem to have issues at wide receiver. So
okay, yeah. So maybe just put him out in space more,
right,
and just get him involved in the passing attack. I wonder if rushing the football and just being a wide receiver has any different impact on whether or not your hamstring holds up to it. Like if one is more intensive on the hamstring than the other.
I don't know. I would think being a running back would cause you to be through more physicality, but I don't know. You can't tell Steve Smith that because look at what physicality and I mean.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see if we have Tony with us. Tony, what's going on, brother?
Can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound like you're in the hallway.
Well, I'm on my phone. I'm out and about. But first, I saw Pat Coltrane in the chat room. Legend, OG like myself.
Yep.
But I just want to let you guys know I came up in here because look, this is Cody's joint, man. He takes care of y'all. He takes care of y'all good, the fam. But big news. Newton on the show. Newton, you know it. He's been vaccinated. He's coming on next week.
So yeah, it is official. It is official. David Newton from ESPN. He will be on the C3 Beat Check this Wednesday. We are going to be interviewing Dave Newton. We actually got it to happen. Shout out to the professor. This is going to be legendary, man. We're going to ask him really good questions that I think everybody will enjoy. It's going to be a good time, man.
We are going to be professional, obviously, right?
For sure.
I'm not going to invite my man in and sandbag him entirely, but we are going to ask. First of all, who's his biggest fan?
Do you think he keeps track of that?
Well, I know some. Do y'all keep track of it? I know who the biggest fan is. This guy right here is talking right now.
Yeah,
I got a lot in common with David Newton. In fact, my friend, I was telling my boy on the radio today, like, we got David Newton, we're coming on. It's a big deal for us. And he said, "Oh man," and he was like, he enjoyed it. He knows the story. He's an intimate. He's a Redskins guy, or Washington football team, but he knows the story about me. I've been on the radio every week for him for 9 years, so he understands. But he said, so he knows me really well. And one of my things about myself that's kind of funky is for being a historian and for being all of this and doing all this, I confuse people's names all the time. Right. For instance, I call, for instance, Jacoby Brissett. I call him Jacoby Forsett all the time. And you're like, oh. So, and he knows it. And he goes this, and I'm on the radio. He goes, "This is not a stick, folks. This is just Tony. He always does this." Like, I call Shannon Sharp Sterling Sharp. That's what David Newton does. So I identify with this homie, man.
I
identify with him.
You're his biggest fan. I mean, you really are.
Yeah. I think I am.
In fact, go ahead.
Oh, you lost service.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, because I'm an interrupter. A lot of people have been telling me that in the chat. Like, I'm an interrupter. I'm trying to get better. But yeah, in fact, I also this was yes, we have some commonalities. I am his biggest fan, and number two, let's be honest, man. He does ask the questions straight up in these press conferences. He asks the questions that people want asked. And I know it's kind of, some people say, oh, it's not cool, this and that. But yeah, it's like Joe Brady and all this is going on. And he'll be like, well, so what's going on with the LSU job? He's the only mug that's not like. So, you know what? I do got respect for David Newton.
So listen, we're definitely going to keep it professional. I do think that me and Tony might have to play a little good cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? We have to take it. This is how I'm looking at it. I think that even Dave, especially if Tony is to be believed, that David Newton is kind of in on the mythos of David Newton and his Twitter and everything that he does. I think there's a good way to answer or to ask him some honest questions that I think everybody in Panther Nation is wondering. And I look to do just that. And I think it's going to be a fantastic time, man. Thank you again to the professor, Tony Dunn, for making it happen. This is really cool, man. This is going to be Tony. I mean, this was the dream, right, man? As when we did,
and this is just one of the things I got in the works right now. I'm all over some interviews coming up, but this one's an important one to me. And I'm gonna go because my phone's gonna die. I got bad connection, but I'm gonna tell you guys this. This is what I'm gonna ask my man, straight up, and I'm gonna relate it to sports. Number one, if you're Robbie Anderson right now, right, and you've had a struggling year, how do you tune the noise out, right? And what I mean by that is, David, like, what people say, you kind of been a little bit of a punching bag. Do you tune it out or do you embrace it? Do you embrace it and it just fuels your journalistic fire? Is one question I want to know. And then the other question I want to know is this accidental greatness or is it intentional greatness? People don't give, and I'm not a Donald Trump fan, I'm not trying to be political or anything like this, but I recognize when somebody has the pulse of, this old man knows how to use social media better than anybody Donald Trump does. And I'm going to tell you this, is like, I feel like David Newton is on the pulse. Like, he knows the pressure points of Panther Nation. And there's a reason, my man. I bet you this, is that if we pulled the statistics for all the ESPN writers, he gets more clicks than anybody, man. He's smart. And what I want to know is, he's stumbling backwards into greatness, or is this all part of his giant plan, master plan?
Tony is such a fanboy now, to the point where it's almost disgusting, but it's all good because Tony made it happen. So
somebody has to be a fan, bro, of greatness. I'm sorry you don't recognize it when you're in the presence, just like you don't know you get beat in a debate might take. You're welcome. I love you guys. I got to ride.
Yeah.
Cody.
Peace and love. Yeah, man. Happy you can jump on and break that news. Appreciate you for jumping on, Tony. Yeah, man. So there you have it. David Newton. He will be on the show. And listen, man, Tony's out of here now. Listen, I'm going to keep it real with David. Like I said, we're going to keep it professional. But, it's going to be cool, man. The fact that we get to interview David Newton, someone who he's been the butt of many jokes, but, so much is said about him. I think I would be doing the moment wrong if I didn't, ask him some good questions that we're all thinking, man. But
the chat is going to be lit.
Yeah, I know. And then look, I saw underground. I think it was it might have been Sideshow Rob. He said, "Does the chat room have to keep it professional?" Because, dude, if we have Dave Newton, there's no way that the chat room is gonna be readable if you're him, man. So that's dude, that's gonna be a fun night, man. So definitely tune in this Wednesday night. Nick, I haven't heard from you in a minute, brother. Say something to me. You might be either muted or you might not be able to talk right now. Yeah, I don't hear you. Sorry, Nick. Justin. Wait, hold on. No, you're like super duper low. No, you're fine.
Hold on.
No, you're good.
So what do you ask me?
But no, I'm just saying, dude. No, you're fine. Just wanting to cut it back to you, man. Just let's get back to this matchup. So, but one, I don't know if you were able to hear. What do you think about this David Newton news that was just dropped?
dude, this is exciting, man. You know, we're bringing in beat reporter. Well, I shouldn't say we. Tony, man, I got to shout you out, dude. That is awesome. Okay, the fact that you were able to get David Newton of all guys, you know, the king of Panthers news, in my opinion. The fact that you get him to come on the podcast and talk, like I give you all the props in the world, dude. Bow down to you are the king. Okay, this is exciting, man. You know, the fact that he's the one that asked the tough questions, like Tony says, and the fact that all these questions that Panther Nation has that doesn't even get asked just because nobody talks to the beat reporters like you do, like all these major Panthers podcasts, which there isn't all that many of them. You know, this is a big step. And I think this is going to be the first big step like that somebody takes, and you guys are going to be the leaders in it. You know, so shout out to you guys, man. You guys have been killing it this past
Appreciate
year.
it, man.
And
Appreciate it.
I'm excited to be a part of it on the Friday free for all, man.
Yeah, dude. And hey, the core theme of this show is to bring Panther fans together, facilitate a good discussion about Carolina football, and just have fun, man. Keep pounding and talk about this team. Provide some in-depth analysis, some news, a little bit of everything, man. And we definitely appreciate everybody that continues to be a part of it. So let's move back to this discussion at hand, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get to it, man. Let's do this Odell Beckham Jr. thing right quick, man. A lot of Panther fans on Twitter, online, people are talking about Odell Beckham, the fact that he just got released from the Cleveland Browns. A lot of people think that he's toxic. A lot of people think that Baker Mayfield just sucks. Kind of give me your read of the situation, how you feel. And then would you be upset if the Panthers did sign Odell Beckham Jr., or is it just wasting his talent on the Panthers quarterback carousel? And we'll go to Justin. Justin, we'll go to you, man. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah. So like if I to begin with, I don't think that whole situation in Cleveland is on Odell. I don't think Baker is the quarterback a lot of people expected him to be in the NFL or wanted him to be. I think like Odell's talent cannot be denied, and if he's paired with somebody like Aaron Rodgers or Justin Herbert, someone like that, you see the old Odell. I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset if the Panthers brought him in, and at the same time, I don't feel like I would say like if you compare DJ's talent to Odell, like how far of a drop off do you think that is? Like we don't need receivers right now. We need a better O-line. We need a better QB. So
a part of that question too is like, do we even have the quarterback situation?
Right.
Like, how much better is our quarterback situation over the Cleveland Browns? You know, would he see the number of targets that is suitable? Go ahead.
Odell's he's a big personality. I was watching a video earlier, and the host was saying that Odell's a celebrity. Like outside of football, he's a celebrity. He probably wants to be somewhere like LA or back in New York, near New York or something like that. Carolina's a small market, like beautiful city and everything. But we all know Carolina ain't Los Angeles. Carolina's not New York. So he if I'm not mistaken, he's free to choose where he can go, who he's going to sign with. So I don't think we really have a horse in that race.
No, he has to go through the waiver wire.
Yeah, so it's basically like there are levels of like it has to go from one team, and then another team has to turn him down, and then that team has to turn him down. So, like, do we know what the order on the waiver wire list is?
Yeah, we are actually 19. I'm gonna post it in the chat, Cody. Maybe you can.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that works.
Yeah.
You can also message me stuff on Twitter too, and I'll see it there.
I got you.
But the chat works. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see. If that's the case, it's really hard to see Odell Beckham Jr. falling to,
I mean,
you
he's
know,
got
19. You know,
this is as of week 9, and this is on from CBS. But I mean, there's like, I mean, well, okay, I'll just read him real quick. The Lions. Now, this is the first order: the Lions, Miami, the Texans, the Jags, the Jets, the Giants, Washington, the Eagles, the Seahawks, the Bears, the Falcons, the Niners, the
see, once
Vikings.
I think you get
I
to
mean,
the
the
Jaguars,
Patriots, the
yeah, there's a bunch
Broncos.
of teams
I
in
mean,
there that
yeah. Then actually Cleveland's on there again, and Kansas City, and then us.
does he. So, like, every single team has to pass on him.
Well, what they do is they put in a waiver claim, and from my understanding, this is from going with other players, is that every team will get an email or a list. Okay, he's available, and each team has to say, "Well, we want him." And if you get 5 teams that wants him, then they'll go. First of all, they'll go with first to last. You know, like for example, if the Lions say they want him, they'll get first dibs because they're first in order. But like for example, let's say the Giants and the Seahawks and the Niners and the Patriots put in waiver claims, then the first one in order will get top dibs. But if like a team is only allowed to put in so many waiver claims in a given day. So if this is on Monday and there's been 2 other people, then they won't let them have both, especially in the same position. But
yeah, I mean, if it's similar to that, it would be hard to see a scenario.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of people saying the Jaguars, which Trevor Lawrence to, say what you want about Trevor's rookie season. I think that long term that would be a good connection. But let's forget whether or not being able to do it is a possibility. Would you guys even want him on this football team? As we welcome Drew. Drew, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the Friday Free For All,
guys. How you doing tonight?
Dude, doing good, man. Doing good. We dropped some news earlier. I'll fill you in. We're going to be interviewing David Newton from ESPN this Wednesday night. Yeah, man.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be cool.
Good cop, bad cop,
dude. That's literally the exact same thing that I said to Tony, because Tony is like #1 fanboy over David Newton now.
David Newton fanboy.
Yeah, that's like his favorite person now. So. Yeah, hey, look, there's no way I'd miss the opportunity. I'll make sure that I'm fair, but yeah, we got to ask the questions that we got to ask. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Tune in this Wednesday. But we're actually talking about Odell Beckham Jr. and whether or not people think he's toxic, would they like him to be on the Carolina Panthers, the potentiality of him even landing here. That's kind of been what we're talking about. Would you like to see Odell Beckham Jr. in a Panthers uniform, or is that kind of a pipe dream?
It's a pipe dream. I don't think he'll make it, and even if he does, I don't think they would claim him. I don't believe he's toxic. I just don't believe that he fits. If you bring in Odell Beckham, then that means you're either trading Robbie or you're letting DJ walk. There's no reason, because you just heard Matt Rule talk about that they are a running football team. So if that's the case and they want to keep Sam Darnold's passes to around 20 to 25 a game, then there's no reason to have Odell Beckham Jr. You're going to have Terrace Marshall. You've got Robbie Anderson. You've got DJ Moore. You've got Tommy Tremble. You're going to have Christian McCaffrey or Chuba Hubbard out of the backfield, or whoever. There's not enough balls to go around, and if Odell does not get the ball, we've just seen what he can be like.
Yeah, that if I can throw my 2 cents in here, I posted on Twitter, but let's be honest. If his father complained on social media when there were times when Baker Mayfield either didn't see him open or overthrew him or just didn't throw to him. If that's what his father complains on social media, saying that this is what OBJ is complaining about, does anybody really think that he's going to be different with Sam Darnold? I mean, Robbie gets overthrown. Robbie gets ignored. Sam doesn't see Robbie half the time. And here lately, when he does see him, Robbie drops the ball. But nobody outright complains a lot about it, and that's probably a good thing. But can you see OBJ in place of Robbie? I mean, it's going to be blow up right there on the middle of the field. I mean,
I want to say that, like, I think if Cam, I do believe that if Cam was still the QB here, we might have a stronger chance of. We would have had a stronger chance of bringing OBJ in. Like Cam himself is a big personality, so OBJ, like, as big as his personality might be, he would have to work. He'd have to put in work on the field and then try to overshadow Cam. But I don't think it'll be.
My friend, I believe I saw on YouTube that Cam was working out with OBJ.
He did.
Cam posted a video.
Recently? Like that was recently he was working with Odell?
Yeah.
The way I took it, it was this week.
All right. Hey, real quick. I just want to add Kevin Bosch over to this discussion. Kevin, what's going on, brother?
Not man. Just getting off work.
Nice, man. We'll pitch the conversation to you in a second. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh no, that's I was just agreeing with Panther Rule. Cam posted a video of him working out with OBJ, and he has a video where he's working out with Julio Jones.
Yeah,
so
Julio Jones.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of, I feel like that name, Odell, he's been associated with trades even when he was with the Giants, and people knew that he was unhappy over there, and he was. That was the first time you started to hear the rumors about him wanting to be traded. And then it happened to the Browns.
Well, him and Odell were always like friends. Like he was always like thrown with Odell when he was with the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people wanted to see that connection somewhere, man. People wanted the Patriots to sign OBJ so that Cam would be able to throw to him.
I personally want Odell to go to the Ravens or the Packers. Like
Ravens would be nice.
Give Lamar Odell and see what happens.
Like this is my thoughts on Odell. I still think he is a premier receiver in the NFL. I mean, if you look at his route running and what he's able to do just from a pure physical perspective, dude, I mean, the guy still gets open. Call it a diva move or not. His dad did release that video that shows that he is open a good bit of the time. And I don't know Odell Beckham Jr. off the football field, so I can't say if he's a diva or any of this other shit. All we know is that this, secondhand material of, he said this about Odell. What I'll tell you is this. I think that, if you look at Stephon Diggs, right? Stephon Diggs wasn't happy playing in Minnesota, and then he ends up going to Buffalo, and then now you see that guy as one of the premier wide receivers in the NFL now that he has a quarterback like Josh Allen throwing him the football. I still think that, potentially Odell Beckham has that kind of Stephon Diggs potential in him. I just don't think that the Carolina Panthers have a situation that would be any different than what the Browns have right now, where, we just had our best rushing performance running the football. Christian McCaffrey would be coming back healthy sometime soon. And then you already have a bunch of receivers that, as Kenneth alluded to earlier, are already struggling to see reception. So, I don't think it would be beneficial for Odell. But also, how much would you want to, sign him to, and for how long? Like, how much would you pay him?
That's a question I have on that. If somebody claims Odell, do they have to take on the rest of his contract?
No, so the Browns released him.
Yeah,
the Browns.
I think if they claim him off a wire.
Exactly. That's what I said. If you claim him off of waivers, don't you still have to pay his contract?
You pick him up off his contracts. If a team claims him this week or claims him Monday, then they're responsible for $7.25 million this year alone.
And
I
then
think
they're
the
also
49ers are
responsible. They're also responsible for
now
the
what?
remainder of the contract as
the
well.
remainder of the
Correct?
contract. If you claim somebody on Jalen Smith was released, I think it was last week or the other day or something like that. The one we also tried to trade for, but anyway, he was released by the Packers. He cleared waivers, so therefore, if somebody wants to sign him to a practice squad and make dirt money, then they can.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Once you clear
Yes.
waivers, then you can kind of make an offer. Any team can make an offer.
Yeah,
So
they're
that's
probably going to
gonna
let
knock
him
a lot of
pass.
teams out as far as putting in claims for him because a
Yeah,
lot of teams don't have a salary cap to take him on a waiver.
There was an article on Twitter. It was posted by I think Adam Sheffield or somebody that stated there were like 6 teams. Here it is. It says there's amount to 6 teams who don't have to be creative when salary cap to claim him. That would be the Jaguars, the Eagles, the Broncos, the Seahawks, Panthers, the Chargers, the Steelers, Washington, and Bengals. Those teams can pretty much claim him right away and not have to worry about cap. Any other team really can't claim him because, and I may be wrong on this one, but I believe to claim him, you have to have cap space to claim him. You
Yeah,
can't
you got to take him on the
and then
contract.
create it later. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Panthers. I mean, from a money standpoint, I don't think the money is the issue. I just don't think that
fit.
the fit. The fit, but for sure, there's gonna be someone that has the money to do it that's ahead of us. So the part of that happening just doesn't. Yeah, doesn't.
I can see the
seem
Ravens picking him. I can see the Ravens picking him up to get Lamar Jackson another weapon.
Yeah.
Something else we need to add in. The Browns tried to get him to sign him to a cheaper contract just to release him so it would make easier for everybody else. Well, basically, it wouldn't be hard on them on cap to release him, but it would also help him to be claimed by a lot more teams. And he refused to do that. So
if Odell clears waivers, I think he goes to the Rams.
And dude, Von Miller apparently is already calling them out, telling them to come chase a ring with everybody else over there in LA. It wouldn't surprise me, man. He's an LA kind of guy.
Odell in LA.
Oh, dude, that's like everything that he's ever wanted. And like having a guy like Sean McVay, a coach like Sean McVay, yeah, I think that he would love that. Dude,
they're building defense. He's got other weapons around him.
Right now, everybody's pretty much. Well, I mean, it's a 3-team race that people are saying pretty much in the NFC is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the LA Rams, and the Cardinals. Some people kind of.
Actually, you got to throw the Cowboys in there.
Yeah. People even throw the Packers in there too, man. The NFC is really, really good right now.
Packers just don't have a defense. Packers just don't have a defense. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's going to go to the Packers. I think he's going to go to somebody who needs wide receiver talent.
Odell is flashy. Odell's going somewhere where he can flash, and that's why I said Los Angeles.
I think somebody's going to pick him up on. Somebody's going to claim him on waivers just for spite.
Yeah, hey Nick. Also, by the way, your microphone is like super low.
Okay, I'll talk a little louder. I'm going to be getting off in a few minutes just because.
Yeah, you're fine.
Almost dead.
You're cool, bro.
I don't think Odell is a good fit for us just in general. It doesn't matter how much cap space we have or anything like that. His attitude is a huge turnoff, okay? And we don't need any negativity in this locker room, okay?
Right.
We saw how negative everything was whenever we lost 4 straight games. Okay, we don't need anything worse than that. On top of it, even though the ball placement wasn't great whenever it came to him, granted I haven't watched a lot of his film, but the little that I have seen, the placement hasn't been great. He drops the ball. We are already the worst team in the NFL whenever it comes to drops. We do not need another wide receiver that is going to drop the ball. We also don't need another wide receiver in general. We need to focus on getting O-line or any other position that we actually need. Okay, getting another wide receiver does not fix our issues with the offense.
Yeah.
If anything, it puts us in a worse spot because it takes away salary from next year.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at it, he's played what is it? He's played a full 16 game season, 2 out of his 7 years in the league. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah, he's had that injury history kind of connected to him too. So and that's a good point, man. Like Nick said, like Carolina, Jeff said in the chat room. We need offensive line help, and to go and add another receiver at this time with our setup, it just doesn't seem likely.
I'm going to throw a name out there that I could actually claim him. I don't know their cap situation though. That could claim him, maybe, and that you probably could use him, and he'd probably love to go there is Kansas City. Kansas City's the 18th in the draft in the waiver claim. I don't know their cap situation, but if they can afford to get him, then I mean, it would be an ideal situation for them.
Hey man, we have a special guest joining us, Rashad from the Panther Nation podcast. Rashad, what's going on with you, bro?
What up, man? I just want to drop in for a couple minutes. I ain't gonna hang out too long, but what's good? Just wrapped up our preview video, so it's all good, man. Showing some love. What up, C3?
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to PNP. Yeah, man, we've just been having this Odell Beckham discussion, man. Every time there's an Odell rumor, the Panthers, Panther fans talk about it. So yeah, give me your opinion. One, do you think it makes sense for us? Are you team Odell? Are you team Baker Mayfield? Like, what are you feeling about this whole Odell situation, bro?
I mean, I could really care less. I really don't need Odell Beckham over here. I think he's a great talent, but what's the point? I mean, we've got enough talent here from a wide receiver perspective. Let's see what we got. As far as no, we're good. We're good. I
mean, talent wise, Robbie Anderson ain't been doing shit.
No, Robbie's a 1,000-yard receiver. He's fine.
Robbie's
fine. Robbie's fine. But I think that as far as whether it's Odell or Baker, I mean, I think one thing he could kind of shoot himself in the foot. I mean, depends on who claims him, right? I mean, what if you end up with Jacksonville? Like, I don't know that he went about that the proper way, but it is what it is. He got himself out of there. More power to him.
Yeah, that's the name that I've been hearing a lot is Jacksonville. And, again, I don't see why he would want to play there. Again, we've been trying to figure out this, like, all the waivers and stuff. And, we know you have to be able to have the cap space to be able to take him on, which I don't think is a problem for us. But we're sitting at 19 on the waiver wires. So it's like we already know that it's not going to be us.
We're fine. I mean, what is Odell going to bring us, though? Like, I mean, we can't even use Robbie Anderson, right? Like, what is Odell going to bring? I mean, it's a nice little piece to have. I mean, he's a great talent, but we're not going to do him any justice.
Yeah, you're not going to get him cheap.
No, you're going to get the. And honestly,
you'd rather go out there.
He's just going to get the same thing here as he getting up there. I mean, he's going to end up giving the same attitude here as he is up there, because by the time Sam misses him or doesn't throw to him or it ain't accurate, and
I don't think our
stuff leads into it.
I don't think our quarterback situation would be better to make use of Odell's talents. Like
exactly.
With Sam Darnold or PJ Walker, like as everyone's alluded to, we're having difficulties getting our own playmakers the ball. It's like it's one of those situations where we all know what the weakness of our offense right now is. It's been the offensive line. Although they did have their best performance against Atlanta, we have to give credit where credit's due. But yeah, we still want to continue to build and bolster this offensive line, and adding to any other position that isn't on that line just seems kind of contradictory at this point.
Just to add, his base salary hit is $14.5.
Well, that they have to. The Browns have paid half that already, because the base salary is divided up into 17 weeks or 18 weeks. So they paid some of that. That's why I think the $8 million is the balance. and I think
Yep.
whoever claims him has to pay that $8 million.
It'd be
So
like
I,
$8 million.
I think that even with that though, I mean, anybody that really wants him can maneuver the cap to get him. I wouldn't. That those teams keep floating around. That the teams with the enough cap space, they can figure it out if they wanted Odell. So I wouldn't look too deep into that.
Again,
hold that thought real quick, because it appears as though we're trying to have a PNP takeover on the C3 Friday free for all. Because your boy Dave is now joining us too, man.
Y'all need to tune in. Y'all need to tune in Wednesday. Y'all need to tune in Wednesday.
Hey, man. Hey, I don't know if y'all heard that, if y'all were in here earlier, but this Wednesday night, we're interviewing Dave Newton.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Are y'all going to keep it a buck, though? Are you going to keep it a buck with him, though?
Yeah, I promise that I'm going to keep it a buck. Tony has been on this thing where he's his number one fan now. But listen, there's no way that I could have David Newton on the podcast and not ask him questions that Panther Nation wants to know, man. Like everything surrounding this dude, man. I feel like, look, I'm far from a journalist, but I definitely feel some journalistic integrity on the line here, man.
That's good shit.
I gotta do my part. But yeah, we're gonna be fair and balanced. We're not gonna attack the man or whatever, But
I will say this about Dave. I know folks have been going about his antics in the past, but one thing I have to give Mr. Newton credit for: that man has been asking the tough questions.
He has.
Yeah,
he has been asking. He has been out here having Matt Rule rumbling, bumbling, stumbling over in this piece. He has been asking the tough questions.
Yeah, man. Right. And listen, we'll give him that credit too, man. We're I intend to ask him about misspellings and just everything surrounding him, man. People wanting to know if Dave Newton is in on it, like is it doing it on purpose? It'll be a fun time, man. Check out the C3
I'm watching, man. That shit gonna be lit.
I'm watching.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna have to hop into chats with my government name.
Yeah, bro. It'll be a good time. So Dave, look, I'll let you have your opportunity to talk about Odell Beckham real quick, and then we'll move on to this matchup that we got with the Patriots. But everybody's been talking about Odell. Pretty much everybody's on the same page. It doesn't really benefit this team a whole lot right now. Do you echo that same sentiment?
What has this offense shown you to think that Odell Beckham will be utilized and he will be happy here?
Right.
That's why he's my co-host, man.
Nothing.
What has this stellar offense with game manager Samuel shown you to think that Odell Beckham's not going to step on Sam within days after the first game?
Yeah.
More like hours, maybe mid-game. We'll be trying to change this contract just like Cleveland just did to get him out of here.
We're lucky Robbie ain't went off. But that's
I'm
not
telling
Robbie.
you,
that's not Robbie's first.
There ain't enough targets for the guys. There ain't enough targets for the guys we got.
Yeah.
If Odell
gets the ball, does he catch it?
Huh?
If Odell gets the ball, does he catch it?
But the question is he going to get the ball? That's the problem.
Yeah.
I've seen it hit Robbie's hands a whole lot. Very easily.
Robbie having a tough stretch, but you wasn't talking that noise last year. So don't talk it now, bro.
Well, I talked
you weren't talking that noise last year, bro.
I was saying trade him in preseason.
Nah, you was.
Look at my video. Look at the video.
You was happy that he had 1K last year.
Bro, a lot of people. A lot of people thought that we had a 1-2 tandem in DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and I feel like
we did with Teddy.
I mean, but listen, we're not gonna do this Teddy thing, bro. Dude, listen,
I'm just having fun today.
No, I feel you, bro. I mean, really, I don't feel like one of them is a tremendous upgrade over the other. I think that I think what I said for Curtis Samuel is also true for DJ Moore. Like, we never really, got to see the fullest potential of that player because the quarterback position has been such a carousel, man. To hurt Cam Newton, to Kyle Allen, to Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold, Taylor Heineke. It's like there's so much turnaround at that position. I feel like it's hard for any receiver to find a rhythm in our offense. Like, that's why I'm not really tripping on Robbie Anderson too hard. It's like, if he had that dependable connection with Sam, like we all thought that he did, then I don't think it would be that bad.
But that's the problem, right?
I don't think he ever had a connection with Sam.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, I think we had this false perception that they actually had a connection. Like, people forget why Robbie came here. Robbie said he came here for Teddy. Robbie did not come here for Sam. Robbie came here for Teddy. So then when they end up with Sam, dog, he's already seen the script. Huh?
I'm sure he hated it.
I said it too. I said that when they signed Sam Darnold, Robbie was pissed. I guarantee he was pissed.
That might be why Robbie was out here trying to get this deal done too, because he was like, "Yo, well, I'm not going to get this check, you know. This is the peak. This is what we got here. We got my only 1,000-yard season was with Teddy Bridgewater.
I still can't blame Steve for his downfall.
All right, so then look, no, that's actually a really good segue to this Patriots game. Joe Person reported that Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey might play. That they're hopeful they might. I mean, I heard that they were hopeful. If you know something,
they still haven't taken him off IR yet.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, he's gonna play.
I think Sam Darnold, and we literally just talked about this with Patriots Football Breakdown. I think Sam Darnold shouldn't play if he's hurt. If he has the shoulder injury, if he's got the concussion, trying to get through this protocol, I think PJ Walker against the Patriots for this situation is probably a more dangerous quarterback to go versus Sam. And the reason why I say that is because no, hear me out. The reason why I say that, there's a couple reasons why. Bill Belichick knows who the hell Sam Darnold is. Matter of fact, Bill Belichick has Sam Darnold has never beaten the Patriots. He's 0-3. And by the way, he had 6 chances to play him. So I'll just say that to you again. He's 0-3 against the Patriots. So he missed 3 of the games is what I'm getting at. So I don't think I think the mystery of PJ Walker will benefit us right now.
But like my only hesitancy with that though is, bro, we see how reckless PJ is in the red zone, man.
And
like,
so has Sam. Wasn't the Ghost game?
I understand that, but even against Atlanta, he was trying to throw to an Atlanta Falcon player, man. Like, and dude, this is actually one of the rare times that I agreed with something that Matt Rule said at the press conference. And he was like, we think PJ Walker has the potential to be more talented than just a game manager quarterback. He has the ability to make those throws down the field. We saw that last year when we played Detroit. And, he had those 2 really nice touchdowns in that game. But he just doesn't take care of the football. And it's getting him to, not make these boneheaded plays that he does, and specifically in the red zone too, man. Right when you're about to put points on the board, like that doesn't even allow us to kick a field goal at that point.
We don't keep that same energy for Sam when he messes up in the red zone too, guys. That's my point. And honestly, I wished that Rule was asked about that. I guess Joe Brady was asked about that the other day, but about like why is there like they're harping so much on the almost interception in the game against Atlanta, but you had a quarterback who actually did have a turnover in the red zone. You had a quarterback that gave up points with a safety. So like, I just want the coaching staff to keep the same energy for all these quarterbacks because they're not doing it. You can't coddle the starter and then go at the guy that has the least experience and expect him to be like the guy that's been in the league for 4 years. So I just need this coaching staff to keep the same energy for all the quarterback positions. I don't disagree with you when it comes to PJ Walker being erratic. I don't. Because when everybody brings up the Detroit game, everybody talks about how well he played. Nobody talks about the fact that defense shut out Detroit. Nobody talks about the fact that he threw them picks in the red zone.
Yeah,
nobody talks about any of that.
Nah, because everybody wanted to continue to see him too. Everybody wanted to see PJ last year. And now everybody's flip-flopping and saying they don't want to see him anymore. So I think I agree with you, Cody. I think that I've always seen that out of PJ. Like even going back to last year, I wasn't blinded by that Detroit game. The dude is a terrible decision maker with the football in his hands.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
either I hold my breath every time the ball snapped in his hands. I don't know whether he's gonna lose us 15 yards by running, scrambling around trying to extend plays, or throw an interception. I think it's great. It's like the ultimate risk reward, right? He is like he can throw a 60-yard bomb and it will look fantastic, and then the next play he will lose you 15 yards. Like it's just really erratic. So I mean, it can be exciting, but I just want a dub, bro. And I don't know if PJ can deliver that consistently.
And it's like go ahead, Justin.
The wild thing is for me is that you could say the same thing for PJ that you say for Sam. Like the talent is there, but it's the decision making that leaves you wanting for more. Like,
I agree with you, dog. But give me Sam over PJ any day.
Yeah, that's where I
except for this game.
When PJ gave me the game last week, I was a little worried because we were in the red zone.
I don't think we're going to win regardless of who's playing quarterback.
But see, that's like the game plan. The game plan going into Sunday needs to be very reminiscent of what the game plan was against the Falcons. So to that effect, yeah, I'm aware of that. Like the Patriots are probably game planning to force us. Like the game plan for both defenses is the same thing: shut down the run and force the QB to throw. And we don't want either one of it, whether it's Sam or PJ out there slinging the rock, because a mistake is almost guaranteed to be made.
Yeah, my fault. Just go ahead.
With that, when it comes to throwing, I'm gonna say the same thing that I've been saying for Sam. Just make his reads as simple as possible. Like move the man out the pocket, because I don't want to see him dropping bad 3-step, 5-step drops, trying to let routes develop. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Is there anyone on this show right now who actually, especially considering that those two might come back together, Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey? I mean, that was, look, say what you want about our offense, but it's
McCaffrey won't throw passes.
Yeah, with McCaffrey in our offense, it just opens up everything. Our coaches want, whether we like it or not, they want to run everything through Christian McCaffrey. I don't think that's a long-term recipe for success, but I'll tell you this: I'd much rather have Christian right now going forward than not have him. And I think that especially if you're going to have Christian potentially coming back too, I would want to see our best foot forward and have Sam Darnold out there instead of PJ, just because I think he probably has a better handle of being the starter for the Panthers right now.
I just think it really depends on their health, right? I mean, we can't force them out there for the sake of getting them out there together. Like, I think it'd be fantastic to have them both out there, because we'll be damn near 100% healthy at that point. But I think that number one, I don't think you're going to see either one of those guys on Sunday. I think neither one of them plays. I think that had Christian McCaffrey been healthy most of the week, I think he would have been active. They would have promoted him already. It'd have been good to go. If you haven't made that decision by now, I don't think you make that decision the day before to play. It doesn't sit right with me with doing that personally.
What don't they have to make that decision soon? Because
20 days.
20 days after they're eligible to get off IR, right? So they're probably going to milk that as long as they can to make sure that he's ready.
Do we have any hope of beating the Bill Belichick-led Patriots with just PJ Walker?
Yes.
And we spoke to the Patriots breakdown dude, and he said that they struggle with those shifty quarterbacks. They typically struggle with those quarterbacks that are mobile. They haven't played one all year. They don't know what it looks like. Their linebackers are slow. They're not athletic. So I think it could be problematic with PJ. Again, it's just that erratic. You don't know where it's going to go. And I do think that Joe Brady actually tapped into something last week when it comes to Amir Abdullah. I love C-Mac.
Oh, yeah.
But Amir Abdullah looked really good out there, bro.
I definitely did.
The Texas routes out of the backfield, that beautiful wheel route that Sam just missed, bro, that was his worst throw. And credit to Sam. He looked great on Sunday. I have no bad things to say about Sam on Sunday. But he was great. Go ahead. My fault.
I've been saying this for weeks. I keep cutting people off. But I've been saying this for weeks. The offense, as much as talented as CMC is, this offense is predicated on a pass catching running back. CMC just happens to be like an elite level player at that with those skills. Nothing against Chuba, he's a damn good running back, but he can't catch to save his damn life. That was my argument for why we should have kept Bonifant, because he was like a poor man CMC. We needed a running back who could run routes out of the backfield and give Sam that check down option. Like I said, Cuba got bricks for hands right now. And with them throwing Amir out there, the offense flowed a little bit better because the dude, his take, I don't know if anybody else would attest to this. His when he got the hit, when he gets the ball, it's very similar to CMC. Like his first couple of steps, it's like, bro, if you don't tackle him, he's gone.
Yeah.
My opinion is Amir is the guy that you have to. He ought to raise it a little bit up in the priority of re-sign, because since we're going to have McCaffrey at least a couple more years, we need a guy with the closest you can get to be able to catch it out of the backfield like that. Since we don't have Curtis Samuel anymore, Amir is the guy that's available and looks real good catching out of the backfield. Plus, he can do returns if we need him to. So
yeah, you guys mentioned potentially moving PJ around, taking advantage of their linebackers that don't have a lot of speed. Do we think that Joe Brady, if he's forced to use PJ Walker, that Joe Brady would even implement some bootleg fakes for PJ, or just try and move around the pocket a little bit? Something, frankly, I wish it would do more with Sam Darnold. Move the pocket around and utilize his athleticism. Although that did give him a concussion, I'll say. But I feel like we're good when we have a mobile quarterback that's a threat to take the ball as well. Do we have faith that Joe Brady would be able to utilize PJ's athleticism against the Patriots defense? For whoever wants to jump on.
That's my answer.
I think he will, but I may just be saying that just because I want him to do it. But I mean, I don't see why you don't. But it took him a long time to get Sam to figure out how to use Sam. And I mean, Sam looked good last week, especially running the football. But Sam don't seem to mind to run.
Joe, but the thing is, PJ's been with the team longer than Sam has, so you would think that they would have an idea how to utilize the guy. Yeah. I mean, you got to go with some of the positivity of the fact that he did play decent when he had a full week to prepare for a team. The Patriots, this ain't the Super Bowl winning Patriots that we're dealing with right now. Now they're better than this is a better roster than what they had last year, but from the standpoint of are they beatable? Absolutely, they are. Now, I am afraid because they haven't lost a game on the road yet. But we can beat these guys.
It'll be a home game for them. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much why they've been winning, man. I feel like every game that they play at on the road, they got a crowd full of Patriots fans. And yeah, we know it's going to be the same thing over here, man. It's going to be loaded with Pat fans. So, I mean, my one hope, though, and I think that our defense has remained tough this entire stretch, even though they've had some lapses here and there. I think Shaq Thompson's return was just everything for us, man. Shaq Thompson. Yeah, dude, he's balling, man. Dude, number seven, Shaq Thompson is a different Shaq Thompson, man. Like, he's playing like a man possessed. He reminds me of like a vintage Thomas Davis. Like, the man is just balling right now. And I think that him coming back and Stephon Gilmore playing very well in his first ever start as a Panther, like, man, I really don't see this Patriots team as unbeatable at all. Like, I think that we have a good chance to really beat them. I mean, we're 2-0 with them, and that's with Cam Newton as our quarterback. But we have a good record against the Patriots, and I'm thinking that we're going to put up a good showing. At least we have no reason not.
All the games against the Patriots, all have been close. All of them. Yeah. All of them. So this is going to be a close game either way.
Yeah, I just think that it's going to be a real defensive matchup, right? I think you're looking at two ball control offenses. Like both of us want to run the football, both of us want to keep the other offense off the field, and so I think whatever team can get the run game going and be successful, because we both want to run the football. Whichever team can get the run game going, I think will win. I just off the rip, I think the team with the most rushing yards is going to win the game.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like our defense is equipped to stop their run. Like, I believe our linebackers are more athletic. I believe we're a little bit faster. I like the speed at our linebacker position, man. Jermaine Carter, Shaq Thompson, and Frankie Louvu. Dude, that's turned out to be a better than advertised linebacking core, man. I've been really impressed with them. So, yeah, I don't see it out of the realm of possibility that we prevent them from having a big time rushing attack.
I just really hope that Joe Brady can adapt, and I don't know. This third quarter thing is just bothering me. It's just really bothering me. He really just has a hard time of adjusting, and I'm hoping that PJ is the quarterback that he will adjust his game plan. And I got a sinking feeling that he just won't. He's like, the game plan is the game plan. And this is what we're running, and regardless of who's in there, this is what we're going to do. And you just can't always do that. And Cody, you said something about Sam Darnold running the football. That's great and all, but did anybody watch the play that Sam Darnold got hurt and see Cam Irvin walking his ass around the damn pile?
Yeah, man, they're taking the play off, man.
I pretty much said, yo, if you ain't gonna have the level, like, I'm cool if you just don't have the talent to play the position. I can accept that if you're putting forth the effort. My man ain't putting the effort. He out here saying we're not the Carolina McCaffreys, but when you put some effort like that, you damn sure make him look like that. You out here not doing a damn thing.
Sam Darnold up was his man that he could have gotten if he had, as you said, put the effort in to blocking him.
If I was head coach, I depth or no depth, I'd have released him on Monday, and I'd have told everybody in the presser exactly.
Dude, but our coaches aren't going to do anything.
No, I know they ain't. If I was the coach,
that's the type of.
If I was Cam Darnold, I'd be
type of play that would get a guy benched.
Yeah,
like Christensen should be the starter because that was some outright bullshit. Okay,
well,
it's a zone. There's nobody there for you to block. You have somebody to block.
Yeah,
everybody talked about Sam Darnold showing heart running the football.
Man. You should know
that. Urban showed no heart, no guts, no nothing, no.
You know what he should show himself to? The bench. Just show himself to the
absolutely.
bench. Just show himself to the bench.
So listen, let me ask y'all this, man. Is everybody's minds changed about the offensive interior? Me and the guys from the 4-Man Rush podcast, man, we've been going back and forth about this offensive line. They really like Michael Jordan and Matt Paradis. Listen, I give credit where credit is due. Against the Falcons, we had a really good performance. They were able to move people. I think Trent Scott came in and looked better than he ever has. I think it was his performance of the year, and they had a good game. But I'm not ready to say that like I'm sold on these guys even being able to get the job done for us.
It was the Falcons.
No. My thing is this. This is the reason why 4-Man Rush likes those guys. Because they're nasty. They're nasty. They play physical. Like Michael Jordan, he might not be the most talented guy in the room, but when you're in the offensive line, you're supposed to be nasty.
That's why Matt Rule.
Guys, we got. That's it. That's the only reason I like them. They're better than what we have.
See, that's the thing, though. Because I was watching the 4-Man Rush and they were going over the film. How Dave just said that those three dudes, they were playing Jordan specifically. Like there were plays where they weren't even talking about what he was doing. He was firing off the ball. Like if Irving had that kind of effort when Sam got hit and got that concussion, Sam would walk into the end zone untouched. Jordan was coming off the line like the dude had said something about his mom. Like he was putting like, let me chill, let me help Paradis on this double. Get off the double, get off field, grab a linebacker and let him, hey, you ain't going no fucking where. Like,
you know who Jordan reminds me of? Jordan reminds me of Jeremy Bridgers.
Throwback.
He just does. It's we picked Jeremy Bridgers off of claims in the waiver wire. I think he came from Arizona, and he as a guard or no, as a tackle, as a right tackle, and I mean he was good for us for a couple years after that, just because he get off that ball and he was kind of mean. He could play inside or out, but that's just who he reminds me of. Is Jeremy?
Yeah. Hey, real quick, Kevin has to leave. Kevin,
I bounce too.
Hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. Yeah, Rashad and Kevin, man. Definitely appreciate you guys coming to hang out, be a part of the free for all. Kevin, I know you'll be here next Friday too, man.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I appreciate you jumping on, gentlemen. I appreciate you.
All right, fellas.
Peace
Yeah,
out.
later, y'all.
Rashad, I'll stick around for a little bit longer.
Appreciate you, man. Let me
I was
also
gonna
take
say-
a moment.
I was going to say one more thing.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Patriots win 9-6, and I say that because last time I picked against us and we won. So,
Oh, all right. The reverse.
you all picked the fucking Falcons to win, so
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right. We all gotta take our medicine. But I appreciate you, bro. Glad you could join us. Let me also add in Brad. What's going on, bro?
What's going on?
How's it going?
Always happy to be here. Yeah, man. Happy you can join us, dude. What's going on?
Not much. Just started tuning into the podcast. Just got off work. No place I'd rather be on a Friday evening. So.
Yep. Hey, hang on real quick. Let me ask somebody to stream. Devin, what's going on? Devin, how are you, man?
Good.
What's going on, brother? Hey, so yeah, let's continue this conversation that we've been having, man, about the New England Patriots. Listen, like, what are we thinking about this matchup? Do we have a real chance to do this, or are we dependent upon Sam Darnold playing? Like, what has to happen for the Panthers to win this football game?
We have to control the run game on both
they're
sides.
They're going to have to run 50 times a game again, and to be quite honest, that's not sustainable. I mean, especially not against the Bill Belichick defense. So, I mean,
yeah.
If the reality is we're probably going to be going in there with PJ Walker. Do you want him running your offense? I mean, that tells me that they're going to. I know, but that tells me right away that we're probably going to be relying on the running game to win it for us, and that's not a recipe for a victory there. At least that's just not that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and then like we're also wondering, is Sam going to play? Is Christian going to play? Is there anyone here that thinks that Christian shouldn't play? Especially since we got the Arizona Cardinals.
I don't think he should play.
The way Matt Rule sounds, he shouldn't play.
Well, he shouldn't play. If that man ain't 100%, he should not play.
And he was very limited today too. So I mean, when you went on a Friday, if you're very limited, odds are you're not playing.
Yeah, he said
I wouldn't play him then.
Yeah, after that, he said the Saturday practice will determine. He's hopeful, and we all know.
Yeah, you're hopeful.
Means.
Yeah. As Rashad said, they have 20 days to bring him back to the active roster. I don't think he comes back until that 20 days is up.
That's what I said too. He ain't coming back for 20 days.
But dude, if he's not back by Arizona, like dude, that's okay. Other than the Buffalo Bills, the Arizona Cardinals, that's the biggest test on our schedule this entire season, man. It's like if we're not able to put up a competent performance against the Cardinals, then like you're telling the fan base right there that this isn't a team that's even interested in making a playoff push. So like,
but Cody, if you bring him back and he goes out there and he pulls his hamstring again, he's done for the season.
Yeah,
they're going to shut him down completely.
They're looking at it from the angle of we want him for the stretch, right? I would be really surprised if he comes back before the bye week. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'd say don't play him this week. Keep forgetting his name, Amir. Let Amir get more carries, like try to get the carry split somewhat balanced between Amir and Q.
I
give
like
Christian
that.
an
I like
additional
them
week
too,
to
guys.
rest up.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't play McCaffrey, and I mean, Amir appeared last week that he can handle a passing game. I mean,
yeah.
I think Amir's gonna slowly but surely take over the 2 spot. I really do think that, because until Chuba, if Amir can just do, if Amir improves, I think he's not a bad pass blocker, but if he improves on the pass blocking, and then I think he could easily take over that 2 spot for Chuba, because Chuba without hands means that Darnold doesn't have a safety valve, and Darnold needs a safety valve. Like, he needs a check down to go to.
I will say this: I have been impressed with how he has been, how he's been running the football. I mean, yeah, he's not a great pass catcher, and I don't know if he'll ever be, or if it's something that he just needs to work on. But I have been impressed with Chuba, man. I think he's a hard runner. I think that he's aggressive. He's that downhill thumper that I think that we need, especially late in football games, man, when you're just trying to grind out for extra yardage. I like what Chuba's been able to do.
But you also have Amir coming into the game just as on passing down, because in defense, you're going to have to put both of them in the backfield at the same time. So they can't key in, Amir's in the game, they're going to throw the ball.
Well, that's part of the reason why I say Amir should be getting more carries, and just spell him with Chuba. Especially you can keep Chuba fresh, Chuba and Royce in like the second half. If we have a lead and we're trying to bleed the clock, if we want to run the ball, then you got 2 guys with fresh legs and just pound the rock.
I think the smartest play would be not to design one running back for one type play. Call what you're going to call, regardless of which running back's in there. Because if you try to alternate that, everybody now and in the future is going to pick up on that. That's just what they're going to do. So the best thing to do is just call the plays you're going to call, and if the running back that's in there fails, then you go from there.
But that's the reason why I was saying that. I'm gonna keep. I've said it before, and I'm saying it again. But that's the reason why I wanted to see Bonifant there. And not just Bonifant. I think there were 2 other running backs that have fairly good hands we had on the team, and they cut them both. It's like we needed somebody who could stimulate what CMC does.
Yeah. Well, see, Bonifant's on the practice squad, so that gives us an edge up to have a couple on the roster. The one thing I think though for the running game is I noticed Pat Elflein is practiced fully on Thursday and Friday. Lord, I hope he don't play. Or if he does play, he's not a starter. That would be the worst mistake they could do.
That's another thing, man.
If they put him in a guard, if he starts the game at guard, we just lost this game right there.
I don't think we will. I mean, they did. To be clear, I believe today they did activate him off of the PUP, so he's officially back on the 53-man roster. We're still 2 people short to a full 53-man, but I think that they brought him back more as insurance for the center position, right? Because Paradis was injured this week too, I believe. So they're more worried about him potentially having to miss time.
Yeah. Let me. I wanted to switch the conversation to this, but you brought up Pat Elflein, and it made me think of this. Like, I think our coaching staff, they have this aversion to guys like Cam Irving and Pat Elflein, and some people think that it's too much of a connection to these dudes. But I really feel like if Michael Jordan started to play well and helped you guys rush for over 200 yards, well, why not continue to go with the hot hand, especially when Matt Rule has been praising Michael Jordan and saying, yeah, he's the type of guy that we love on offensive line. He's powerful. He's aggressive. He plays mean. I mean, if you think all of those things about him and you started to play better, then why go back to Pat Elflein? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
But that's giving a lot of putting a lot of weight behind anything the Matt Rule says, which at this point I really think we shouldn't, because he's on paper saying, "Oh, this is a fantastic player. He's the type of player we want to have on a roster," and then releasing him the very next week or trading him the very next week, right?
Yeah.
So as far as him saying, "Oh, Michael Jordan's amazing. He's great. He's the type of person we want run blocking for us. He's the type of person we want on our offensive line." That doesn't mean anything. It's all lip service. So, you know, I think, and this is the thing that drove me nuts about friggin' Ron Rivera, right? Was the loyalty that he had to his veterans, which I get. You want to be loyal to those players. They've gotten you to where you are, but just the absolute refusal to bring in new blood and young blood is just insane to me.
Yeah, I thought that was out the door with Ron Rivera, but it's something that we're still doing now. I maintain that
Ron
Brady
Rivera
Christian,
tendencies is what I call it, my man.
Yeah,
Ron Rivera
man.
tendencies.
And
Well-
they're still here. They haven't gone anywhere. I think Brady Christensen got thrown under the bus for his performance at left tackle. I think Matt Rule put him in a position to fail doing Brady the way that he did it. We haven't even. I feel like we don't even
Have
talk
you heard
about
anything about Deontay Brown?
Yeah, I was about to say we don't hear anything about Deontay Brown anymore in his IR return, and it's
Isn't
like
he on
even
that-
if
he ain't coming back, man. He's done.
I don't think
He's
he's
got-
coming back this year.
I don't think
so
so.
that so it was
He'll be-
a season. So yeah, if it that's even furthers the point, man. It's like even before, you know, when Deontay was healthy, we were hoping that he could be a part of this team, and our coaches just they do not want to play the younger players, man, and I don't understand it. Frankly, it infuriates me.
Well,
Cody, you know
so-
who this team, this coaches remind me so much of John Fox. John Fox hated to play the young offensive guys, and he would go out and get the cheapest guys on free agency to play offensive guard. He flat out would do it. Now, unless he had a starter, and if he named him the starter, they were the starter until they were no longer under contract. No matter how bad they played, they were still the starter.
Well,
It's
so
like a Panthers tradition at this point.
And yeah, and
going
he
back
would
to
run, and it didn't matter if your quarterback didn't throw. John Fox was quoted, and I watched the presser. He was quoted once to say, "If we could run it every play and not throw it one time, that's a perfect game plan for me." That's
well,
a fact.
you know, going back to what Tepper said after he fired Rule, right? Or fired. God, I wish fired Rule. After he fired Rivera, I mean, he literally said, "I'm going to hire an offensive-minded head coach. That's the way that the league is going." And you know what? He was right. That's the way that the league is going. All the rules favor offense now. And what did he do? He hired a freaking coach who wants to run the football 50 times a fucking game, and wants to win with strong defense. During his presser this week, Rule came out with, "Well, you know, they need to make peace with the fact. People need to make peace with the fact that we're a defensive team." That's not how the NFL is built. That doesn't win. Not long
Well,
term.
the great defense wins. Like great defense can still win championships. But the problem is that you still got to have some inkling of a passing game, and it's got to be a dependable passing game. Like you can win a Super Bowl with an average quarterback if you have an elite level defense. When Peyton Manning beat us in the Super Bowl, it wasn't Peyton Manning that beat us.
No.
It was that
Right.
defense that beat us.
I was about to say,
The
ask
Peyton
Cam
Manning,
Newton.
the Peyton Manning that was there. The Peyton Manning that was there at Super Bowl 50 was a shell of himself.
Yeah,
It wasn't
that had
the same
nothing
guy.
to do with for sure.
But-
So
I mean,
it's possible, but then you got to. But the thing is, the way that Matt Rule has shown and Joe Brady has shown so far, they're questionable decisions when it comes to clock management. They're questionable decisions when it comes to making adjustments. That ain't a winning formula, and that's the issue too. That's probably a bigger issue.
Well, and like I was saying last week, I mean, if you look at some of the tweets Billy Marshall put out a couple weeks ago, right? Hate to reiterate this, but those time management issues have been with him since Temple. They're not going anywhere, right? They're not getting any better. Like you had Temple fans and Baylor fans literally popping on to Twitter and saying, "This guy has no idea how to man. Why are we taking a timeout on first down in the first quarter?" Right? Like
Tepper knew that going in.
Yeah, it's unreal.
He
Like,
did. I'll say it. I believe if they didn't hire Matt Rule, I would bet everything that I own that our head coach would be I done forgot his name. The New England Patriot offensive
McDaniels.
McDaniels.
Because he was the guy that Tepper was trying to work around.
Yeah,
his
no,
schedule
that's
to get.
true. Yeah,
And
that was like a real rumor that he wanted to bring
and
McDaniels here.
Now, granted,
So
I
he would
believe
have
if we'd have
strike
got
one and
McDaniels,
strike two.
yeah, I mean it. I believe that in my heart of soul. And if he's still available and something happens and Rule goes elsewhere or whatever happens, I believe Tepper would go right back to him.
And
For
that's
whatever
a
reason, I
Shanahan
don't know.
move.
But
Shanahan
Eric
might be
Bieniemy
available.
should have got that job.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy, dude. Shanahan might be available this year if San Francisco doesn't improve. I mean, he's
I wouldn't mind Shanny or Eric Bieniemy, man.
I think
Why would
Eric.
you want? Wait, stop right there. Why the hell would you want Kyle Shanahan? Why would you want Kyle Shanahan
Just
after
to piss
failing
off
in San
Falcon
Francisco?
fans.
Like, no, why would you? No.
So this is why. Well, okay, this is why. And again, like Kyle Shanahan, I think if you look at what he's been able to do from a running perspective, like say what you want, that guy is always able to run the football, and I think that's a part of the Panthers' identity. Okay. I think that hold on, let me just add on to that. He's not my first option, but I do think that a lot of the NFL season is luck, and I don't know exactly how injured their team is. But, Kyle Shanahan, if you look at what he did that year, they went to the Super Bowl. And even that year, he was the OC for the Falcons, man. Like, that guy knows how to call plays. He knows how to, put points on the board situationally. And I think that he has a much better pedigree than our current head coach. And, that's but Eric Bieniemy was and is my first choice if we're
he's waiting on
Andy.
He's waiting on Andy.
What about Kellen Mond?
This right here is where I'm agree with Dave. You want a guy who gave up a 24-3 lead in one Super Bowl to New England, and then gave up a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter to the Kansas City Chiefs in another Super Bowl.
Always remember.
I don't want that guy as my head coach.
Never forget.
You got a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl. You close that son of a bitch out. You got a 24-3 lead against the New England Super Bowl. You close that bitch out. You can't close it out. I don't want you as my head coach.
What about the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys? What about the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys?
I would say no to him just because it's his first year of being offensive coordinator.
It's his third year.
I would call up Kansas City and say I want to talk to Eric Bieniemy.
So, but on the
how
flip
do you
side
know
of
it's
that,
Eric and not Andy? I mean, let's be honest.
And that's
the
flip
last offensive coordinator for the Kansas City that went on to be head coach is getting ready to be fired. Will probably more than likely be fired from the Bears this year.
Yeah, but another one ended up winning a Super Bowl.
I think we go and get.
He's available too.
Wide receiver coach or the quarterbacks coach from the LA Rams.
Quarterback coach.
Everybody's ready to fire Rule, but the man might win enough games to keep his job.
Yeah.
No, Rule. Look,
Rule got to win 3 more. I already made the prediction prior to the season. If he wins 6 or less games, he's out of here. He probably gonna win 7 or 8 at this rate.
Yeah, listen, I do not think that Matt Rule is going anywhere this season. And I think that we're gonna win some more games. And I think that we're going to make a couple that we lose look competitive. I mean, granted, that's hoping that we don't completely backslide at the offensive line and quarterback position. We're hoping that Sam can actually continue to grow and get better and show some signs that we're not going to be in the quarterback market next year, which we pretty much all think that we are going to be.
I'll tell you a guy who, if we were going out looking for a head coach I'd give him a blank check. That's that offensive coordinator for the Bills. Now he's going to be special, y'all.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember.
Brian Dable. Yeah. There's a bunch of good options. Yeah, go ahead, Devin. We haven't heard from you in a minute. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, do you have something you want to add to this conversation?
Yeah, what are you talking about the Patriots Sunday?
Yeah, man, you think we're gonna win?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Hey, this is a winnable football game, man. There's no reason. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons that we could lose, but I think that we can run the football, man. I really do. I think that we can be aggressive, and I think that we found an identity against Atlanta that we hadn't had all year. And Mike, I wanted to ask you this, man. Like, do you think that Atlanta game was indicative of what the Panthers need to be doing the rest of the year? Like, do we just need to quit being fancy and throwing the football all that much? Or do we just need to dedicate ourselves to the run?
Well, a balanced attack is nice. And, I can't say much after one game where, the O-line decided to show up, against a bad Atlanta team. And, Bill Belichick, I know he's going into this game thinking, okay, we might blitz every down because I don't trust PJ and we're going to stop the run. So PJ's got to step up and we got to get the ball going on both sides as far as stopping the run and establishing the run game.
Do we trust PJ to make the throws? Like if the game is on the line and it's a big time third down and the Panthers have to have it, are we trusting PJ Walker with the ball in his hand?
We got to. He has to.
Yeah, I mean,
your only other option will more than likely was to put that guy named James Morgan in. I mean, he'll be the backup, but it's either PJ or James Morgan.
Next, Mike White.
Well, didn't they say that Sam Darnold, if he's active, would be the backup? He could possibly be the backup. And
I heard that too. That's just to me. That's just ignorant. I mean, that's just ignorant. I mean,
no,
if Sam ain't healthy enough to start, he ought not be on that field. Period.
I agree.
But I heard
coaching ignorance.
To be honest, if he's cleared to play, he's going to play. There's no way that they're going to trust PJ over Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
and to be honest, like there's been no tape so far that would make me think that PJ is a better option than Sam Darnold either.
I agree.
PJ is decent between the 20s, but you get in the red zone and it gets kind of.
Yeah, man, that red zone's a nightmare fuel, man. He's always throwing interceptions in the red zone. I don't get it. Hey, Dave, if you're talking, you're muted, man.
I said it earlier, man. I said it earlier, guys. 0-3 against Bill. That's all I need to see. 0-3 against Bill. I have no interest in seeing Sam Darnold against Bill. I'd rather see PJ because I think PJ is going to give some level of he's a running quarterback. Historically, the Patriots struggled with that. He could scramble a little bit. I'd rather take my chances.
Dave, you think PJ is a better runner than Sam?
I think PJ is a better athlete than Sam, and I think that matters. Now we can fight talent and who's more talented, but I don't think that's a situation that's going to help us here. You know what we want to do. Like, it ain't like we don't want to throw the ball 40 or 50 times against the Patriots. That's the last thing we wanted to do, whether we have Sam or PJ there. So that's not what we want. We want this to be a slow, heavily defensively played game from first to fourth quarter. And the bottom line is this. I just need PJ to sustain enough drives to give the defense enough rest to light up Mac Jones. That's all I need. And I don't think, like, Sam's never beat these guys, and he's been bad against these guys. Like, terrible against these
guys. Again, we have a better squad this time around. I'm not saying it's, the best squad you've ever seen, but it's damn sure better than the Patriots squad or the Jets squad that had been going up against the Patriots. So, I mean that's
fair. That's fair, but Sam has had the same challenges that he had with the Patriots when he was with the Jets. We still talking about this offensive line not being good. Like, they had a really good game against Atlanta, the best game they've had all year, arguably. But the reality is we might get F-line back. We're going to have Cam. I don't want to play every play Urban back. So, like, it's just from that standpoint, you got to take into consideration that, like, we got to put Sam in a similar spot to what he had with the Jets against the Patriots team when his man been seeing Casper.
Hey, real quick, do I spot a fresh, crisp JC Horn jersey? Yeah,
Bro,
I like
you
that
are
one.
spotting the very first official NFL jersey that I have bought, and you bet your ass it's fucking JC Horn.
Yeah,
that man,
I like
cannot
that.
wait for him to come back.
I like that.
And
I
by the
like
way,
that energy, bro.
I got to shout out Dave because he is right on the money, man. As much as I think Sam might give us a better chance to win against the Pats, New England has made Sam see ghosts. And let's face it, it's not going to be all that hard to make him see ghosts again with our O-line. Right. You know, so let's see what PJ has. Why not?
It's like last year with Detroit, right? So last year, Detroit was like the perfect game for PJ. This year, New England is probably the perfect game for PJ.
I want to say if we're able to establish the run and get, I can see us taking a few shots in the game, where like I can genuinely see Robbie having like two to four catches for like $120 something with a touchdown or 2 touchdowns. Because if we're able to establish the run, PJ has shown he is more than willing to sling the ball down the field. And if the play action is there, that should buy Robbie or DJ plenty of time to hit the corner with a double move, get behind them. Like I said, I have no doubt in my mind. If PJ sees them coming, he's slinging that thing. So we could see a situation where we get a couple passing touchdowns off of like 60-something yard plays or something. At least I'm hoping to see that.
I want to throw something out real quick, not to change the subject, but do y'all read that Bill Belichick once sat down and had a 2.5-hour meeting with Phil Snow about the defense when Phil Snow was a defensive coordinator for Arizona State, I believe it was.
Yeah,
no, I didn't hear that.
Well, yeah, Phil Snow was the defensive coordinator, and Belichick was with. I thought he wasn't the head coach. I think he might have been with Cleveland, but he was with somebody. But he wanted to talk. He'd just become a defensive coordinator, and he sat down. They were there looking at some folks for the draft, but they sat back in there and talked. It was way early in the morning. And he knocked on Phil Snow's office door and said, "Can we talk?" He said, "Yeah, come on in." So him and Bill Belichick sat down for like 2.5 hours and talked just about defense. And Bill Belichick walked away extremely impressed.
Oh no, Phil's the best coach we got. Like I've been saying that for a while now.
I think they've all been saying that.
And they said that the article I read that was on it was on a Patriot site that said Belichick admitted there's not a defense that doesn't exist that Phil Snow that Phil Snow doesn't know. He said he's probably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I mean, for Belichick to say that
and it doesn't surprise me, man. Like I think our defense has been our calling.
Look at what he did last weekend. Look at what he did last year. You know, he had 5 rookies playing on his defense because we didn't have the correct personnel to put people in that had any experience.
Right.
So when you're able to perform the way that you were towards the end of the season, it just shows that you're a great coach. Like obviously, there's going to be some sort of transition time, and that goes for Phil Snow. That goes for Joe Brady, even though he hasn't adapted by any means. That goes for Matt Rule, which I can say the same thing as far as for Joe Brady, where he hasn't adapted. But that also goes for Sam Darnold too. And we got to remember that we've only had Sam on the roster and playing games for us the last 8 weeks, 7 weeks. You know, so even though he's still showing some things that he did in New York, we got to give the man time. And that goes for Phil Snow, not as much for Joe Brady though. But he hasn't made a step forward. At least far enough forward for me to say that he's making progress.
Yeah, he hasn't. Joe Brady hasn't taken that step enough for us to be able to say that he's really lived up to the billing, especially that he's been given. Phil Snow, on the other hand, I feel like that's been pretty universal. Everybody's been happy with Phil Snow. I do think that, especially in the middle of this season, there was some reasonable criticisms of him. I think that he kind of switched up our defensive identity for that Dallas game in a way that really hurt us. And that's why Dallas was able to run the football all over us. But one of the things that I do appreciate about Phil Snow is that I feel like he doesn't make the same mistakes over and over. And I feel like he really teaches an aggressive defense. And I really love what he's been able to do. And I think that he's actually taking advantage of all the different kinds of players that we have on our defense. Everyone from a Brian Burns to a Hassan Reddick to a Yetur Gross-Matos. Like, I really like how this guy thinks about football. So it doesn't surprise me that Bill Belichick likes him like that.
I said this earlier during that 4-game losing streak. I said that the defense, the way our defense have been playing, that they will be, if no other reason, a reason for me to tune in on Sundays and watch to see how they're doing. They're also the reason why I think we could get this dub against the Patriots because of Snow, of his prowess. And then you add to that as intelligent of a coordinator as Snow has shown himself to be, you add in a defensive player of the year and Stephon Gilmore, who's able to spread his wisdom around. Like that interception, I was reading an article where the interception that Gilmore got to essentially end the game against the Falcons, he told Chin that if he sees this kind of formation and pitch breaks out, like he releases this way, he told Chin, "This is how I want you to play it because I'm gonna cut him underneath." Like he told, I think in the article he said he told Chin this on Wednesday, and then a few days later, sure enough, that the formation goes out there, and they played the way they wanted him. Chin was over top for the help. Gilmore cut underneath it, and he picked the ball up. I honestly because Mac Jones has played pretty well this year for a rookie QB. He's probably in the best situation of all rookie QBs with Belichick and McDaniels. But I honestly see, regardless of who we have at quarterback, because we're trying to run the football, i.e. keep the ball out of the QB's hand, not throw it a whole lot. The Patriots are going to want to do the same thing, but I think our defense is going to be able to prevent them from doing so, which is going to force Mac to have to throw it. And I feel plenty confident in saying that we had a secondary to make them regret throwing the ball. I can see a situation where Gilmore doesn't get but 1 or 2 targets, and he might get a pick 6 off one of them. Like I'm fairly certain they're probably telling Mac, they're in film study at practice, they're telling Mac do not throw. If you want to throw a ball, do not throw it anywhere near Gilly Lock.
Yeah, I do. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but the fact that he fit in and just played so seamlessly. His first game against Atlanta, he was he was calling for the matchup, as Justin just said, with Kyle Pitts, man. And why wouldn't he trust himself in that situation? Kyle Pitts is a rookie tight end, and Stephon Gilmore is one of the most experienced corners in the NFL. Like, of course, that guy trusts his own abilities in moments like that. I love the
wildest thing about it all is you could argue that our two, like the guys who had the biggest impact on the defense this past Sunday, played some of the fewest snaps. Like I think Gilmore was on the field for like 17 snaps, and I forget what the number was for Shaq, but Shaq led the team. Like essentially, Shaq was getting a tackle on 1/5 of every play that he was in. And the two guys who got interceptions played fewer snaps than the other guys, so they were able to stay fresh, and the defense still. I wanted to say also, as far as like bringing guys back, this is a future thing. This is an all-season thing. Louvu is one of those guys we need to bring back on defense. Every time I don't look for Louvu when he's on the field. I'm not looking for it, but I can't help but see. Like when he's on there, you can't help but notice the dude's always around the ball. When a play is being made, he's always around. If he ain't making it, he's there.
Yeah, man, dude, Frankie Louvu, and dude, he's so fast and physical. I even see them playing him at Mike linebacker, which I like that. I like the fact that we move our guys around sometime. I feel like he has the speed and the ability to just like shoot those gaps, man. And he's so talented. He has fantastic instincts. Yeah, I want Frankie Louvu to be a part of this team for a long time, man. I think he's earned it, dude. That guy plays like an NFL starter. So look, before we got out of here, I wanted to do one more topic, and then we'll get to game picks. This one is more of a fun one, if anything else. So Pac-Man Jones was recently doing an interview, and they talked about doing a potential boxing match, and he had a very interesting call out, and I wanted to get y'all's opinion on that. So this is check out what Pac-Man Jones had to say.
Dudes, I was in the league when we was in the league. I respect that. But you got Reggie Wayne, you got Steve Smith, you got Marvin Harrison. Steve Smith with no lip, no nothing. Like you talking about Carolina Panthers? That's the fight. Steve Smith, man, he's a dog. I would beat Steve Smith ass. I'll take that fight right now. Sign up here, Chad. I don't even want to fight you no more. From Steve Smith. All years.
Bro, Pac-Man Jones calling out Steve Smith to a fight has to be one of the funniest things ever, man.
He don't want them problems, bro.
He don't want them problems, bro. Dude,
he don't
Steve
he
Smith,
do not want
come on, man. Dude, what is he even talking about, man? Dude,
Pac-Man got hit upside the head too many times at the nightclub.
Dude, I'm not
He's
even
still
saying
suffering
this.
concussions from
Oh, he has to be, bro.
when the Ravens, when Steve's played for the Ravens and smacked him down right for the end zone.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody,
dude,
I gotta
I'm
get
not
out of
even.
here, but
Yeah,
I just
man.
wanted to say, you guys have a good one and keep pounding and have a good game this weekend. And I'll check you guys out on Sunday.
Drew, I appreciate you, brother. Until next time, man.
All right, later, guys.
All right.
Later, man. Yeah, we're about to get up out of here soon. I just thought this was a fun topic to get everybody's take on. I'm not even saying this as a Panther fan, man. Like, I legitimately think if there was a real fight between Pac-Man and Steve Smith, bro,
you know why
Steve Smith would box him up.
You know why he did that, right? You know why he said what he said, right? Did you see the footage of him when Steve Smith was with the Ravens against the Bengals and he mollywopped Pac-Man Jones, threw his ass like 5 yards after he caught the ball?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yo, that was one of the most. Yo, man, Pac-Man, like literally, like Steve Smith beat him, and then Pac-Man Jones caught up, and Steve Smith just literally with one arm threw his ass like 3 or 4 yards.
Salty.
Threw him.
So the wildest thing about it is you can see so much of like they like Steve Smith said DJ was his spirit, and there are moments where you see DJ play like I don't think he's like he clearly doesn't have like the attitude, but it's just like his God-given talent. I think it was the one of the passes he caught against the Cowboys, where like the linebacker, I think both linebackers hit him right as he caught it, and he just kind of spun, put his hand down like he's on damn near looked like he was doing a Spidey pose, then turn back on field like, bro, if we can get that. If we can get DJ to consistently play like that.
Cody, I sent that link to that clip he's talking about to your Twitter account, to your Twitter messenger account.
Yeah, the thing about Steve Smith is, and I don't mean to presume that DJ isn't the same way but Steve Smith was just the definition of a fucking alpha. I mean, like you look in the dictionary at the term alpha or an Urban Dictionary, and there's a picture of Steve Smith, and he's just there smiling at you, right? That's not DJ. DJ is not. He's got just immense talent, but he's not the type of person who's going to try and basically going to throw a grown ass man to the ground. I mean, that's just not him. That's not his game.
Like he's like too smooth for he's one of them dudes who like back in the day that we call him a pretty boy. Like he plays like a pretty boy.
Dude, my thing with DJ is he always plays like he gets up and plays like he'll go down to the ground and then you think that he's hurt. and that like he always takes a second to get up. My thing with DJ is he has all the physical talent in the world, but dude, get at me when he does something like this, man.
DJ just don't get mad. That's the problem.
Look at this right here, man. Just watch this. You don't need sound. You don't need sound. Just watch.
Nope.
Beats him, catches up with him, throws his ass.
Get that lame shit the fuck off of me, bro. Love it, bro.
He took that man pride.
Bro,
Threw
Steve
his
Smith
ass.
is
Just
on
threw him.
vibe,
Lost
yo.
his ass like he was like a baby. Just tossed him. Tossed his ass in the bathwater.
It's like for the people who have kids, whenever you tell your kid to do something and they don't listen, you just grab them. That's what he did.
Yep.
Bro, he sunned him. He just sunned him, bro. Man, and it's like, dude, I want anyone on our team to have even half as much of the fight that Steve Smith showed, bro.
CMC, like I was looking at CMC's highlights, and part of the reason why, because like I got to look at his highlights to remind myself how talented this dude actually is. He's not on the field. He hasn't been on the field the last couple of weeks. CMC has one of the nastiest stiff arms in the fucking league, and it hurts me that he hasn't been able to play. Like, bro, there was so many instances. This one player, I think the one that a lot of people will be able to recall, like off the top of their head, it was against the Falcons. I don't remember if it was a pass or if it was a run, but CMC has the ball. He's at the second level. The linebacker, typically they say the lowest man is going to win. The linebacker has CMC wrapped up. This man's like one arm, because he got one arm on the ball. With one arm, just pushes the dude off him, and he pushes him so hard that he lifts himself off the damn ground. I'm like, man, hey, get healthy, get back on the field, big dog. We need to see that. CMC might be the only cat on the team that has that Steve Smith alpha-ness in him. Everybody else seems to just play like they try to be smooth.
Yeah, there was even a few times when Christian would be going into the end zone, and he would turn around and like flex on him before the play was even over, man. Like, dude, Christian does have some dog in him. I'll never take that away from him. We just need more
I'll
of it,
agree with you
man.
at least
and yeah. Hey, say again? Hey, you're breaking up real quick. You might have to come back in and come back out. But yeah, I just want somebody in our receiving core to play with that kind of tenacity.
And the problem, a lot of the problem is Steve Smith. You'll never get another Steve Smith ever. I mean, they just don't make them guys anymore. They just don't. And half the stuff Steve Smith did back in the day, the NFL wouldn't allow today. They just wouldn't.
Steve Smith said it himself. Like he'd be lost half his check if he was playing in the league today.
Yeah, he would. I mean, that's not a doubt. I mean, I've heard Steve say that, and he's not wrong at all. He'd have done lost half his paycheck by now. He'd be working a couple games for the Panthers for free.
All right, man. So look, we're going on about 2 hours. I appreciate everybody for joining me here today, man. I'm gonna get some game predictions in, and then we'll get up out of here, man. And we'll be back this Sunday for the post-game show. Mike, Supreme Leader, once again, the birthday, man. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you spending some time on your name day, brother. That's big time. Give us a prediction. What are you thinking about this matchup? Do the Panthers take it home? And what's the score?
I think they can take it home. If Bill makes PJ's life hell and makes him want to go back to the XFL, then it's going to be a long day. But if we can get that run game going and control the ball, play with a lead, because, I'm not afraid of old McCorkle. So I'm looking at I'm going to go with my first prediction. McCorkle.
McCorkle, bro.
I'm going to go with 2013 Panthers.
2013. I like that. That's a good number, man. That's to me, that's a performance that builds on the things that we did well against Atlanta. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's move now to Kenneth, Panther Pickle. Man, what you thinking, man? I heard you say the Patriots earlier. What is your prediction for this matchup?
I think it's going to be 10-14, and I'm going to be a lot like Kevin was. I'm going to go with the Patriots this time.
All right.
When I pick against the Panthers, they seem to do better, so I'll just pick against them.
Everybody's trying to hit the reverse jinx. I'm into it, man. Anything to get the Panthers a W. You don't have to though. You can give your honest answer, or reverse jinx them.
No.
It's all good, man.
I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah,
I think
think
it's going to be a dominating defensive performance, and the best our defensive plays, I think the better off we'll win the game.
Yeah.
I really do. I believe if our defense can be dominating, then we'll come out on top. But we have to dominate all 4 quarters. We can't take a quarter off because we get tired. You just can't do that. I mean, we just don't have that kind of. However, they need to redo the defense.
Well, our offense needs to take some pressure off of the defense.
Yeah.
We have to. When our defense has some big time stops, we have to reward them, man. When our defense makes turnovers, we have to put points on the board off of turnovers.
That's why we have to establish the run and stay with the run.
Yeah.
Even if we gotta establish the run. If we have to run the quarterback, if we have to run a fullback, if you have to use all 3 running backs and a couple wide receivers to run, that's just what we'll have to do.
Yeah. By any means necessary. I like it, man. Brad, let me get your prediction for this matchup, man. You're feeling confident, or do you think the Patriots are going to bring their fans to Charlotte and kick us out of our own stadium?
I think it's going to be 2014 New England. I think that Bill Belichick is going to load the box and force us to throw the ball, and I don't think PJ can get it done. I mean, that's just the reality.
So do you think PJ being the starter will be one of the main reasons the Panthers won't be able to push it across the finish line?
I don't think that Sam could get it done either. I think that, I mean, to be clear, I don't trust the quarterback room for the Panthers to connect on anybody. I'm a DJ Moore fantasy owner. It's been a really sad 4 weeks for me. Okay.
Oh,
it's been really depressing. So
rough.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not putting any money on this game because I made that mistake last week. But
oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about that.
But I think that New England will get it done. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll come down to a couple field goals, but I think that New England will prevail over us.
Yeah. And hey, real quick, shout out to Nick Montiero, our brother, with the $20. It says, sorry guys, service has been terrible where I'm at. 21-17 Pats. Unfortunate. Defense will play lights out for us for the first 3 quarters. But the lackluster offense will pay a toll. I'll be on next Friday and maybe after the game Sunday. Appreciate you, Nick. You're the man, homie. You've been here for every Friday free for all. And yeah, man, that seems like, that's as good a prediction as any, man. We have to be better after halftime. That's on Joe Brady. That's on Matt Rule. Yeah, we got to continue to do better. Devin, you have a prediction for this game, bro? Who's gonna win this thing, man?
My opinion is my team Panthers that play in or the Patriots did 21.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dude, I like that. I like that a lot, man. I like that a lot. Dave, I appreciate you joining us, brother, man, representing PNP. Glad you could come in and be a part of the conversation with us, man.
Question, man.
What you thinking, man? Is this a Panthers W, or the Patriots? They're gonna come in and do their thing, man.
PJ's not going to make any mistakes. The defense is going to play at a high level. We're going to welcome Mac Jones to the NFL, and the Panthers are going to win this game 17-14.
That sounds
17-14. I like that, man. I like that. Listen, I'm gonna have the Panthers getting a W here, man. I really think that we're going to continue our performance and run the football. I really don't think we're going to put the football in PJ's hands or even Sam Darnold's hands if he does play. We're going to just run the football and just try and replicate that same formula that we did against Atlanta. Justin, I may have passed over you, man. Did you give me a prediction?
So my prediction is we're going to win by two scores. I have a very strong. What's the word I'm looking for? I have a very strong inkling that the defense is going to get a scoop and score or a pick six, and like Dave said, it's going to be a welcome to the NFL type game for Matt. I think we're gonna be able to get to him early and often. I can see a 3-sack performance by Burns or Reddick, and we win. Like I said, we win by 2 scores. So yeah,
I love it, man. What a confidence booster that would be to beat the Patriots by 2 scores, dude. That would be big time.
Cody, let me call out some of these guys in the chat. John Mayberry said, "My wish, the Panthers 16-10, but realistically, Patriots 23-17." Dan Floyd says, "Patriots 21, Panthers 24." Brad Holt says, 24-10 Patriots, and PJ throws 2 picks.
Oh, that would not be nice.
No, it wouldn't.
No, man.
And off the grid says Panthers 13, Patriots 24.
PJ's not going to throw 2 picks, man. I don't think PJ. I think PJ might.
You hope, Dave. You hope.
If he throws 2 picks, we might see Josh Love the way they be talking down on PJ. If he throws 2 picks, we might see Josh Love.
I was going to ask y'all that, not to keep dragging it out, but there's 2 quarterbacks on the practice squad. We know one of them's going to be the backup. Which one's going to be, Josh Love or this other guy named James Morgan?
It should be Morgan.
Yeah, he's been on the practice squad longer than wouldn't he?
Well, and he's more experienced, just in general.
Oh yeah, he's been in the league 2 years.
Dude, I think they just needed another body to make sure with Sam Darnold's concussion. They just wanted to do their due diligence, bring in somebody just in case. I think
I like that that James Morgan's size though. He's 6'4" and 230. I like that part about him, but I don't know nothing about quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him either. But again, man, like I said, I don't think any of us are putting too much of our hopes in one quarterback or the other. We have to have a well-rounded performance, and I think that's the name of the game. If the Panthers are going to get a W this Sunday. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up a 2-hour Friday free-for-all. I definitely appreciate each and every single one of you being on here, man. If you haven't done so, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Is there anything anybody wants to plug before we get out of here? Anybody got something you don't want to?
I'll plug this.
mention?
I'll
Go ahead,
start
Mike.
watching the game in the 3rd quarter. That's when I'm gonna start watching.
All right. Hopefully you'll see something you like. Hopefully. Anybody else have something you want to promote? Dave, you got something?
I mean, you guys should know what me and Rashad's been doing for the past couple of years. So just follow us on Twitter, Panther Nation PC. We're on TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe to the channel. You can follow me individually at ChampD1012 if you want to talk fantasy or talk trash or things of that sort. And that's all I got, man. There's only 4 teams left in my suicide pool right now, my eliminator challenge. There's only 4 teams left.
That's what's up, man.
Dude, we have a lot of folks picked the Bengals last week. A lot of folks picked the Bengals last week.
Yes, can you blame them? Dude, nobody thought the Jets was about to pull it off, bro.
You know, the thing
Respect
is, man.
Mike White. Okay.
I'm always afraid when there's a quarterback in these streets that nobody knows and they're playing a mediocre franchise like the Bengals because they will bang them.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody was like, why did you not pick the Bengals? And I'm like, A, because I already used them. B, I ain't touching that. And like there's another pool that I'm in. There's 80 people left. 49 people picked the Bengals last week, so they're bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Man, those dude, that's why I normally don't bet money on the NFL, man. Any given Sunday, bro. You just never know.
They're all pros. People forget.
I know.
They're all professionals.
Any given Sunday, man. That's a real thing. And real quick before we get out of here, I just want to remind everyone, if you didn't hear earlier, this Wednesday at 8:30, we will be interviewing Dave Newton of ESPN. Wow. So y'all gotta come check that out. This is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna ask some good questions. Me and Tony might have to do a little bit of good cop, bad cop. But it's going to be fun, man. This is a big time get for us. And, make sure you check that out, the C3 Beat Check, every Wednesday night. And that's it for the Friday free-for-all, man. Until this Sunday and our post-game show. Until then, keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
We out here, boys.